Third episode of the day, and on this particular video, guys, it is a very sad one for me to report that another pastor has passed away. Now, this pastor comes from Emmanuel Makandiwa's church, and you can go online, search it up. You will see posts. Prophex also made a post. You know, you might actually see it around. Now, I wanted to extend the subject to a video I made when wise man David Angelos passed away. And in that video, I was making a particular subject about breaking down a particular story called The Story of the Obsolete Man from a TV show from the 1950s called The Twilight Zone. Now, when we made that video, the intention was to illustrate that people can regard certain subjects as obsolete, right? To say, I don't have to listen to this. This is garbage. Mandems is garbage. Not listening to none of that stuff until they are faced with the reality that at the end of the day, we are out of here in no time. Now, I wanted to bring back that particular subject, but I wanted to add to it by adding the comments of Bashiri after the passing of Angelos, right? Remember, Angelos was extremely dedicated. He used to go around, run around, do all kinds of things for Mandems to do his prophecies. You remember stories that came out from Farai and A.S. Davids back then. Now, when that subject came up, speaking about those individuals and how involved he was, you would think, okay, there's a salute for him or whatever. But it turns out, in Bushiri's statement, you don't get that thing of maybe they were friends and he left the ministry, he went to do his own thing. Bushiri puts it in his post. He left the ministry and he makes it about starting personal ministries. And he almost as if he's trying to point this idea of remaining under the umbrella of his church empire. The post that he made there, if you listen to the post there and you listen to the spiritual father doctrine, you hear it there. When we made the video speaking about Jibir Angel giving a prophecy to one of Pastor Chris' church members, we spoke about that. The reference to man. Reference to man. A strong reference for man. Doesn't reference God. No, not here, not tomorrow. It only references man. And in the post that Bashiri made, says, yeah, he wants to start his own personal ministry. He puts it in a certain way that it sounds like even after departure, there is nothing that satisfies Bomandem. And that's the thing with people that teach charlatan doctrines. There is nothing that satisfies them. They are forever hungry. Forever. That's what the Bible means when it says forever seeking knowledge but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. What is there? Forever seeking. Pastor, if you serve under a false pastor, you become irrelevant. Now, that's the subject. That was the tone of that episode, but I never said that. It's that they rendered the subject of exposing these people and trying to bring the truth to the subject. They render it of no importance. They live their life in the prosperity, seeking wealth, seeking blessing, whatnot. They continue in that world for so long that they dismiss the subject that we are preaching about to say that's not the gospel. You've not been told the gospel. That's why you have such a high preference for physical and material success. That's what they're teaching you. 2023 is your year of success. Why can't it be the year that you evangelize more? Let it be the year where you lead one soul to Christ. Instead of this Christian pride that comes up with a lot of people. To me, it's immaturity. When someone passes away or when they escape an accident, they come out, they speak about escaping the accident as if others were unfortunate for dying in that accident. It's just not your day. If it was your day, you would have gone. It's not a point of pride. You know, there's a certain tone that comes with when people do that. Not that thanking God for that it's wrong, no. But there's a tone that comes out when people, 20 people died, I survived. So a lot of these people that have been in prosperity-based churches, they've now been made to prize physical things. I have a phone, nice phone, great stuff. Now when I meet you, I need you to acknowledge that I paid 40,000. No, not this one. This is a Vivo. It's a Vivo phone. My other phone was dying, so I had to. So because of that viewpoint of wanting to be prized by what I'm thinking, it's not for use. The phone is not just for use. So I have a phone for use. I have a phone because, oh yeah, I can take a better picture. In case it happens that I'm not in a better place, it has a very good specs on a camera, so I can take a very nice picture. I can take a video with it. I might even use it for live stream. It serves a purpose. I buy it because of the purpose it serves. I buy it to keep up. The graphics are good. It can handle those kind of things. You understand? The phone is for use. It has a use case. I'm not just adding things. Now, I don't look at people that have iPhones and then think, ooh, it's pride. No, they like that. So I have a neutral view of a person who has and a person who doesn't have. I'm neutral. I'm matured in the subject. But those churches teach people to prize those things and always to value those things. That's why parata the 3-piece suits, what, cut and paste. They like cut and paste. Why? Because that's high value. They want you to prize it. They want you to think about it. They want you to see it. In the Creator Church, it can't just be a church. It has to be grand. It has to be like going to a cinema, 3D cinema. Even average cinemas can't hold up to what the Mandams are trying to live up to. There's a certain image they're trying to push. You remember we spoke about the very same thing when we spoke about that lady that was speaking about how pastors wanted to sleep with her. And she was talking about all these carnal things. And I'm like, isn't you using the carnal things to price what your ministry is about? Going back to the very same thing of the very same people that you're claiming are false. Why? We've learned the wrong things. We've learned to prize the wrong things. We've learned to think, you can't just be happy that you have a car. You have a big car, everybody must know about it. It's the only thing you speak about. It's not that you love that car. I was with one particular brother who don't have to say who he is. And he has this very big car, like this Mercedes Benz with cars, with seats that hug you. I'm seated in heavenly places. You know, he has one of those Mercedes Benz which are big. There's cameras everywhere. He literally doesn't have to look back when he parks. He just looks down. He looks at his screen. He has one of those very high technology cars. You are sitting inside. You can't even tell whether you are outside or inside. The climate inside is almost very neutral. He has one of those cars. I get into a car like that. I am absolutely appreciative. Wow. You know, and that's why people don't understand the line between appreciation and jealousy. I can get into a place like that and not have to talk so much about what you have, because I'm so grateful that you have it. I'm like, wow, I'm glad I got to experience it with you. Wow, this is really nice. You know, I didn't walk out of that car like, oh, I need a car like that. I'm not a car person. You know, but these churches teach people to do that. It teaches people envy. Doesn't teach people goal setting. It teaches people envy. So what? Guess what? Obsolete. Goes back to that video that we were talking about. They don't realize that their message is going to be obsolete. Like the message that I'm talking about right now, with Bushiri responding to the whole thing of the passing of Tegi. In his post, if you go check it on Facebook, he literally put it there. Yeah, he went to start his own personal ministry, and he's making it sound like there was something wrong with him starting his own personal ministry. You have to stay under the umbrella where they can control. They never want you to be by yourself. No, you must always stay under the banner. And after all these things that you see, you start to realize they've made you to rely on an obsolete message. So when you get kicked out, you become obsolete. So it's sad, but at the same time, we really need people to wake up to the message. You start to see it. It starts to point itself. This person served him for so long in all these funny Charlie ways. And when he passes, that's the message. Oh yeah, sadly he had just left our ministry, yeah, like some time ago, you know. He had lost a covering, you know, just in case you missed it, you know. He lost a covering. Why? The message prizes the person. The message makes a person so carnal that everything is about here. There is there. And only the believer knows what we mean when we say there is there. Hebrews chapter number 10, 35 down, speaks about having us doing good things down here and knowing very well that we have a heavenly reward. Much more, he says you have much more better substance there. But what do they talk about? Oh, faith is the substance of things not seen. And then they talk about a car. No, the substance of things not seen. The things that I'm not seeing is heaven. I don't see the beauty that God has created there. I see all this crime. I see death. I see all these things. I see loss. I see tragedy. And that traumatizes me to think negatively. But I know that that value is not here. The substance he's talking about of things hoped for is heaven, according to Hebrews chapter number 10, going into 9. This is actually showed the daily Christian commentary videos. Believe in the right doctrine. When you pass, we'll celebrate you. When we pass, we'll celebrate because we know the beauty of the messages that we heard from that man. Wow. I wasn't hearing about money. I know how to go after that. The price was high. The price is higher here. The gospel is at stake. It's tricky, and I hope people would price that more higher than anything.